Hello and welcome. My name is Debbie Reed. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I am going to show you how to make this adorable card from Grace's Garden. The two stamp sets we're going to use today are the Grace's Garden and Positive Thoughts. We're using the Sending Positive Thoughts Your Way and Feel Good Wishes with the Hugs and Prayers and Love's a Sentiment. And then we're using all of the dies to this Grace's Garden set. These are my two most favorite stamp sets. So let's get started on the card and I will walk you through what we're going to need and what we're doing here. So we're going to be using Seaside Spray, Sahara Sand, a piece of Whisper White, and this is going to be the die cut version of this card. I have one on YouTube already that's just the stamped image of this card. This card has, or this stamp set has so many different options. It's, oh, lovely. Okay, we're going to take our card base. The first thing we're going to do is actually take the brick embossing folder and we're going to line the paper up on this line, and then you're going to line the bottom because you don't want to have the paper, you know, in between a brick. It looks kind of funny. So we're going to take this to the Big Shot machine and emboss it, and then you end up with this. What I did, there's raised images on the brick, and I just took my chalk, and you're just going to just color some of these raised bricks just to give this a little pop of color, and it just adds, you know, a little more dimension to the card. Anyway, so that's all there is to that. And then what I did is I took a piece of designer paper and kind of, it's an abstract look. I didn't want to have this card start at the brick. I wanted to give it kind of a softness. So we're going to just add this little piece to the bottom of the card. So I'll get my glue. Now this card has a lot of die cut pieces, and I do have a video that explains how to use the Stamparatus to mass produce the pieces. What that means is you would just actually be, you would line up your dies one time only and die cut it. You know, you're going to be very careful how you die cut it. You're going to make a template, and you're going to have your stamps. Your stamps would actually be, so we'll take these pieces. You would actually have your stamp make the image, and then you're going to stamp. You're going to be very careful when you die cut for the very first time, and after that then you can just die cut a bunch of pieces, and then you would stamp them after you've die cut them all, and you can mass produce these in lickety-split. So the stamp, I want to also show you before I get assembling this card. All of these pieces line up. I mean, they're perfect. They just, Stampin' Up! Did such a wonderful job with this stamp set. So you have all these pieces, and they all die cut exactly how it shows on this, on the front of the stamp set. And then there's this cute little garden gate. So you can have it, as we're going to in our card today, where it's just, we keep it white. But you can also take this image and it overlays on this arch perfectly. So if you wanted it to line up on the top of this, you would just trim the bottom a tiny bit. But oh my gosh, this set just has option after option after option. So enough of that, back to the card. I get sidetracked sometimes, so now we're going to just glue this to the card base. So far, very simple, right? No issues, no struggles. This card has some coloring. Do not get intimidated by the coloring. It is so simple. I'm not a person that likes to color, and I found this one to be very enjoyable. The flowers are just, you're basically just, you know, dotting some of them. It colors very quickly. So you could sit down, once you've mass produced all those dies, you would just sit down and color one day and just stick them in your stamp case and use them for when you're ready. This is now where the fun begins. We are going to take this piece that also cuts out so it lines up with this garden gate. Okay, we're going to take our stamp. This is going to be the inside of the card. So I'm going to show you how you do that. We're going to take one of the flowers, going to ink it up, and we're going to just stamp it down on the bottom like this. Then we're going to take a mask and we're going to lay it on here, and you want it to where you're seeing a little bit of the black on this left edge. We're going to ink it up again, and I'm going to stamp it up a little bit higher. I think this one I'm going to come down lower. I already messed up, but it's okay. There's no such thing as a mess up. Nobody knows what we're doing anyway. Okay, we've got the pieces in there. Then you would color it, and I'm also going to show you how, okay, this is a new thing. I'm going to take a scrap paper. I found this cute little brush at the dollar store, and I used to use daubers, and I find the daubers make kind of a, it just doesn't blend real smooth. It leaves kind of a spotty kind of blending. You take this little brush and wipe some of it off, and you can actually swirl this little brush, and it leaves soft color. It doesn't have that harsh splotchy look that you get with a sponge dauber or with the sponge. So we're just going around in a little circle with this. Now that I said it doesn't, I did this where I'm saying it's not as smooth, but it's still better than what you get with the sponge dauber. Then you're going to take your sentiment, which in this case comes from the positive thoughts. We're going to stamp this on this blue sky, and then you would color this. Because this is a video, because I don't like to have people sit and watch me color, I'm going to show you what that piece looks like colored. Okay, so there we are on that part. I also took, to get the green on the bottom, I just took some dark soft seafoam of the Stampin' Blends, and I just rubbed that on the bottom because I want this to have where you open the gate and it doesn't have that stark white look. So we're going to do our card a little bit different than this. This was my first go around, and I could see where I wanted to make changes. So we're going to now take this and we're going to place this piece on the brick. So far simple, right? Nothing tricky about this. Now, when you use blends, it always bleeds through, as you see there. No worries, because this is going to be covered on top of the brick, so you won't see it. And when people are doing this card, some people I have seen are cutting through the brick, so when you open the card, you have that hollowed out piece, and you're seeing this image that we're getting ready to glue as the inside of the card. I don't like that. I like to have the inside be its own where you can still write in there. So it's just me. So we're going to glue this flat onto the brick, centering it as best I can. And there we go. Now, this is where the super fun comes in. We're going to take so what I did ahead of time, because I told you I don't want to have you sit and watch me color, even though these do color quickly, it's still, I mean, you're going to still take some time to color. So these are all the pieces that we're going to be using on this card today. I have them already pre-colored, and I have this little gate. And we're going to snip the gate, but I like to line the gate up first on the card and then snip it, because if it's snipped, I'm going to just show you. Let's snip this one. If it's snipped before you glue it, now you're dealing with this, and you can't line it up as easy because now it's skewed all over the place. So don't cut it until you put it on. I have already put all of the dimensionals. I used mini dimensionals and I used the large dimensionals. On this, I took this edge of the dimensional and I just cut strips, real thin strips, to place on the back of this because I decided this looks cuter popped up. So I'm going to take off the dimensional paper backings, And get my little can here, put my little paper pieces in, and we're going to line this piece up on top of the little paper that we already glued onto the card base. Okay, some of these are not wanting to come off so easy. Give me just 1 second. And lots of teeny tiny little pieces of paper here. And one more. All right, bear with me. Just almost. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to line this on top of the card. Just like that. Easy peasy, just like I said. Okay, now we're going to take our little snips. And I don't know what I did with my little snips, so I'll take my big scissors that happen to be here. Hope this works. And cut down the middle. Like that. And you can kind of fold your gate up a little bit. Now I can see where this needs maybe a tiny bit of glue. Oh no, it's right there. So it wasn't sticking. There we go. Okay, that's the inside of our card. Right there, it's already cute. But now we're going to decorate the outside. So to do the outside, this piece, let me get the black and white one that I hadn't colored yet. This has the whole bottom. And if I stuck this in here how I want it, there's a little leaf here that kind of hooks over this fence like that. But I didn't want to have all this hanging down on the bottom of the gate. So what I did is I just cut this bottom and I cut around this bottom leaf. And then what we're going to do is just attach this to this gate. Oh my goodness. Like that. So I'm going to just put just a tiny bit of glue right there. A tiny, just to help get it just started to stick. Not much. I'm going to place that back on there. And now I'm going to put dimensionals on this piece. And so when you open the gate, you're kind of still seeing the flowers that are behind there. It's very cute. Okay, so I just need just enough just to give it so it stands on its own. So I will just clip a piece like that and plop this under there. Nobody's going to see this, so it's all good. And now I'll take that piece off, stick this down like that. Okay, there's that side. Now we're going to take this climbing rose. We're going to take the pieces off of there, the dimensional tabs, and we're going to stick this like this on the edge. Then we're going to take this little piece, take the tabs off again, and 3 more of the minis. These mini dimensionals are the best. Okay, now we're going to just put this to cover. All I'm doing is covering this part of this stem. So about right there. Then I'm taking another little piece to put in front of that because it's all about dimension and texture on this card. And put that right there. Then we're going to take this cute piece and we're going to take the dimensionals off and put it on the left side of the card. This is so cute. I just love this card. So the Stampin' Up! Ended up on page 3, and on page 13 they have their version of the card. This is actually kind of a takeoff from what's on page 13. They actually have the gate starting all the way on the bottom. I wanted to give something going into the garden. Otherwise you have too much of a bald spot on the top. You'll have to go to your catalog to see what I'm talking about. Cute little cat here. We're going to put this on the card. And so this card is not my original design. I did change it and tweak it a bit because that's what I do. but I did get the inspiration from the mini catalog. So, and there is the front of our card. Isn't that just the cutest ever? I love it. So I took Wink Stella, and I don't know if you can see it on the card. I don't think you can with the lighting, but it is just the sweetest, cutest thing ever. So to save time and not have to have you watch me, do the inside, this is how I did the inside of the card. I just stamped the same stamp right there on the inside. I took the same blends, made just kind of a little hill, and stamped the cat, colored it, and that is it. Isn't it cute? It is an easy card to mass produce, as you just saw. If you can just do all of your pre-coloring and all of your die cutting first, you will find you can mass produce this super quickly. So with that, we are done. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to be notified of more videos, click the bell. And thank you for watching. Make something uniquely yours and have a wonderful day. Bye.